All right, so you're about to graduate, you get that JD, or maybe you just got it. What's the plan? What are you going to do with that degree? You don't necessarily have to practice. Obviously, you know that. You could, teach. You could go on to get your MBA, work in business, a lot of things. But if you're going to practice law, what are some of the things that you should keep in mind when you're trying to decide what you want to do? The first thing I would ask myself is, do I want to work for a large firm? Do I want to work for a small firm? There's pros and cons to both of those. The large firm, you understand that you're going to be stuck in an office someplace drafting memos and etc. for some partner for a few years. Nothing wrong with that, but that's how that works. And the good part is you're getting mentored a little bit by the partners. And then eventually you'll be brought on as an associate. And then eventually, if you're what they want, you can be made a partner. And it takes several years. If you're in a smaller firm, you don't really have that. They don't have that luxury. You're going to get really thrown into the nuts and bolts of practice right off the bat. You're going to be talking to clients. You're going to be doing everything that the other partners in the office are doing. So it's a little bit different of an environment. You also could go out on your own, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But what I would do in reflecting on what you want to do with that degree is I would really examine myself both from my personality and my skill set. And I would really ask myself some questions about what are you good at? What are you not good at? What is your personality like, and how would that be aligned with or not aligned with various practices? So first we talked about going into solo practice. We've talked about this in other videos, so I won't go into great detail, but if you're going to go out on your own, you're going to be practicing law and you're going to be running a business at the same time. And if you're not entrepreneurial type, if running a business, being in charge of payroll and insurance and rent and everything that goes with any other kind of a business, if that doesn't seem like that's something that you would want to do, then solo practice is not for you. It's very challenging, takes up a lot of your time. It also going to be very rewarding. I don't regret my solo practice at all, but you should go into it with eyes open. You're going to be running a business. You could go into government work. You don't have that kind of requirement that you're running your own business. You're getting a paycheck, you're getting a pension, you're getting a retirement, you're getting benefits, and you're just practicing law. And there's nothing wrong with that. But a lot of people who don't see themselves running a business would like to be in a government position. What about litigation? Well, I've said this before, but most good litigators are really junkyard dogs. They like to fight. Okay, and it's not a bad thing. They're fighters, they're warriors, and they don't shy away from a fight. In fact, the good litigator likes a good fight. Not in a negative way, but they enjoy the challenge, they enjoy the chess game, they enjoy the fight. A lot of lawyers, or the new lawyers, don't particularly like that. I remember one of my best friends, when we came out of law school, he's now works for a bank. He's worked for a bank for many years, and the small firm that he worked for threw him into the courtroom. And I remember he came out and told me, like, this is not for me. He didn't like that adversary situation. Other people do. So you have to ask yourself, if you're going to be a litigator, do you have the personality and the skill set for that? The other thing about litigation is, if you really want to be a litigator, one of the things you might consider is this. Again, if you go to a big firm, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, you're not going to be trying cases right out of the gate here. You're going to be, second chair to somebody. You're going to be doing memos. You're going to be doing research, etc. But if you, for example, let's say you got a job at the local district attorney's office. Well, they don't have the pleasure of mentoring you in terms of, drafting paper. You're going to get thrown files immediately. You're going to have to try cases. And a lot of litigators start there because they know they're going to get their hands right off the bat on real cases that they're going to have to try. Hey, maybe you're good with numbers. Maybe math is your forte and it really works for you. What about tax law? If, for example, I'm not that kind of a person, I would never survive in tax law because that's not my forte. Other people, thrive on that kind of thing. That's something you should consider. So, when considering what you're going to do with your JD, a self-examination of your skills and your personality will go a long way to determine what you're going to do with your career.